Man-made reasoning, computer-based intelligence, is reshaping medical services, and its utilization is turning into a reality in numerous clinical fields and strengths. Simulated intelligence, AI, ML, regular language handling, NLP, and profound learning, DL, empower medical care partners and clinical experts to recognize medical care needs and arrangements quicker with more precision, utilizing information examples to rapidly pursue informed clinical or business choices. How simulated intelligence functions in medical services. Simulated intelligence can dissect a lot of information put away by medical care associations as pictures, clinical examination preliminaries and clinical cases, and can recognize examples and bits of knowledge frequently imperceptible by manual human ranges of abilities. Artificial intelligence calculations are educated to distinguish and name information designs, while NLP permits these calculations to seclude pertinent information. With DL, the information is examined and deciphered with the assistance of expanded information by PCs. The effect of these devices is gigantic, taking into account an ICE and Sullivan examination demonstrated man-made reasoning and mental processing frameworks in medical services will represent $6.7 billion this year from the market, contrasted with $811 million of every 2015. The utilization of man-made intelligence is supporting numerous partners in medical services, groups of clinicians, analysts or information directors associated with clinical preliminaries can accelerate the course of clinical coding search and affirmation, vital in leading and finishing up clinical examinations. Medical care payers can customize their well-being plans by interfacing a virtual specialist through conversational simulated intelligence with individuals keen on tweaked well-being arrangements. Clinicians can improve and redo care to patients by sifting through clinical information to foresee or analyze illness quicker. Top 10 purposes of simulated intelligence in medical services. 1. Simulated intelligence upholds clinical imaging investigation. Computer-based intelligence is utilized as an instrument for case emergency. It upholds a clinician checking on pictures and sweeps. This empowers radiologists or cardiologists to distinguish fundamental experiences for focusing on basic cases, to stay away from possible blunders in perusing electronic well-being records (EHRs), and to lay out additional exact conclusions. A clinical report can bring about immense measures of information and pictures that should be checked. Simulated intelligence calculations can break down these datasets at high velocity and contrast them with different examinations to recognize designs and faraway interconnections. The interaction empowers clinical imaging experts to rapidly follow critical data. For instance, Hardin Commemoration Wellbeing (HMH) expected to figure out how to remove important information from EHRs in a concentrated structure for imaging experts. The medical clinic's trauma center, emergency room, was taking care of in excess of 70,000 patients each year and chose to cooperate with IBM to carry out the patient summation. This item distinguishes patient data applicable to the imaging method led on that persistent. Patient outline dives into past diagnostics and operations, lab results, clinical history and existing sensitivities, and conveys to radiologists and cardiologists a rundown that spotlights on the setting for these pictures. The item can be coordinated with any clinical unit framework structure, got to from any correspondence workstation or gadget in the organization, and redesigned without influencing the day-to-day action of the clinical unit. Identifying pertinent issues and introducing them to radiologists in a cordial synopsis view empowers the plan of more tweaked, focused on and exact report utilized in symptomatic choice cycle. 2. Computer-based intelligence can diminish the expense to foster drugs. Supercomputers have been utilized to anticipate from information bases of subatomic designs which potential drugs endlessly wouldn't be compelling for different sicknesses. By utilizing convolutional brain organizations, an innovation like the one that makes vehicles drive without anyone else, AtomNet had the option to foresee the limiting of little particles to proteins by dissecting hints from a huge number of trial estimations and great many protein structures. This cycle empowered convolutional brain organizations to recognize a protected and viable medication competitor from the data set looked, lessening the expense of creating medication. In 2015, during the West African Ebola infection flare-up, Atomwise collaborated with IBM and the College of Toronto to screen the top mixtures fit for restricting to a glycoprotein that forestalled Ebola infection entrance into cells in an in vivo, in the living body of a creature or plant test.
Artificial love, we just make it up.